This is Chip Maxwell, and you're listening to the Retire Smart podcast with David Brooks. Is the current grading system for schools in California a red flag for those trying to get people engaged in financial literacy? Is it worth switching from insurance through an employer to a faith-based group where members share expenses? And am I stuck with a major tax hit regarding a couple million in tax-deferred IRAs, or is there another option? David Brooks has answers to these questions in today's Q&A episode. Well, into the Q&A we go. Now, work with me here, David. We are going to end up at finance here, but it's a question about high school grading systems.
Okay.
Well, here we go. This isn't directly about finance, but it could affect financial literacy. I saw that California has a grading system in which 84 and up is an A, and the rest of the scale is similarly watered down until you get to 24 to 44 for a D. Your grade has to be below 24% to get an F. No wonder we have kids graduating from high school unable to read or manage a bank account. Doesn't this concern you as a professional trying to get people to engage in financial literacy?
This greatly concerns me. Yeah, when I went to high school, you had to have a 95 to an A, 100 to get an A.
Oh,
so the
really?
top 5%.
See, I went to high school here in Omaha, and it was 93 to 100. We were on that more 7-point range.
And when I went to school, if you're using the old 4.0 grading system, right, an A would give you a 4.0, right, a 4, a B was a 3, etc.
Yeah.
75 and below was a failure when I was in high school.
75?
Yeah, 75 and below failed when I was in high school.
70 was a ceiling around here when I was in high school.
And so that scares me that we are slowly dumbing it down. Now here, Gretna school system, one of the major school systems that ranks pretty well, just dropped to what you're talking about, the kind of an 8-point system.
93 to 100,
yeah. Now Gretna, it's 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 90 is a B.
Yeah.
So I believe that this is terrible. I think this is absolutely ridiculous that we're not holding our kids to a higher standard, and this is where this is why we need so many HB1 visas, because these companies that are growing leaps and bounds and building data centers and need tech people and STEM research, and we met researchers. We need people that get engineering, mathematics. If we keep dumbing this down, we're not going to have a population that can handle the jobs we're going to need, because the jobs for tomorrow are going to be very different. There's going to be careers that we'll talk about 5 years from now that aren't even invented today, right? And I try to explain that to clients all the time. We have new careers. I mean, computer science is interesting enough because coding is now being written by AI. The unemployment rate is twice the national average when you graduate college today. With just 10 years ago, people go for computer science. Not a great job. They have almost an 8% unemployment rate graduating college from good colleges right now. So
you were just talking about the trades in the last segment.
Yeah, so
trades.
This is scary to me. And of course, where we went to high school in Northern Virginia, we went to high school. We were blessed. We actually had the county's vocational high school right in our parking lot. It was adjacent, built brand new at the same time. My sister was the first graduating class of our high school. It was called Cortland High School in Fredericksburg, Virginia. And right next to it was the Spotsylvania Vocational High School. And many of my friends, after your 10th grade year, you declared vocational or college prep. So you could stay on the college prep course where you took AP classes, et cetera, and they're preparing you to go to the next step, or you could take a vocational and you would learn. So you'd only go to 3 core classes in the high school. You walk across the parking lot and start to learn how to be an ASA certified mechanic, a journeyman electrician, a pipe fitter, a welder. So you walked out with great skills. One of my best friends, a gentleman named Chris, I won't give his last name because I don't want to give it away, but he did auto body and mechanical stuff in the vocational thing. Ended up owning 7 transmission shops in Northern Virginia and retired about 3 years ago. Now lives in Florida, near where I used to live. Multi-millionaire. Never went past vocational high school, but he learned skills and became an entrepreneur and learned how to develop and became a multimillionaire because that was his aptitude and there was a training available. We need stuff like that left and right. Sorry, going off on a tangent here, back to the trades.
Well, but that giant building at 30th and Cumming initially was Technical High School, Omaha Technical High School, and it was not a second-rate option.
Now we technically call it a HR suck of administrative people that are all earning a ton of salaries.
I don't want to go off on that rant. But no, Technical High School, there's a proud legacy to that school. So, some folks, my vintage and older, some are out there singing Tech High Will Shine Tonight. That was the fight song for the school. But anyway, there's been talk that maybe it should go back to its original purpose and be a vocational school. All right, on to the next question, David. Insurance. My family is covered by my wife's health insurance plan through her employer. I've had friends tell me we should get out of the regular insurance system and sign up with a faith-based group in which members share expenses. Seems risky. What do you think? You have some experience with this, don't you?
Well, I can tell you, I've personally been on a religious sharing insurance plan personally for over 15 years. And it works fantastic for me. And so we provide benefits for the employees here. I do not use those benefits. I've never have because I've been on a faith-based sharing program. There are multiple versions of this. And, if the questioner does want to send information, I'll give you who I use personally. I'd be happy to share that information with you. But yeah, just to understand is the advantage is you strip out all the nonsense that you don't necessarily need to pay for, and you give a monthly share. And I will tell you, I'm a 57-year-old male, and my share is about $230 a month. So I share to the system. That's all I have to pay, and I have full coverage. Now, I have an out-of-pocket number that's about $10,000 a year, so the first $10,000 that I would have to spend medically, I cover that. But after that, 100% is covered. My kids have had surgery. My wife has had 2 major surgeries on these, and all expenses have been paid. So
you've never had to wrangle about, we don't cover that.
Everything has been covered that I've ever had to deal with,
Okay.
and I would tell you. So I'm a huge advocate for it. However, you have to sign a statement of faith, depending on the religious organization that you're signing up with.
I've seen different
and you're
denominations
sharing, and then they
offer
even have an opportunity for you can give love offerings to other people that may have incurred additional expenses outside the coverage. And the other caveat is you need to understand is most of these will not cover prescription drugs. So you need to understand if you take a lot of prescription drugs, that should certainly weigh into your factor. We use like Good RX, these discount programs, because we do have a few prescriptions monthly in our household. But anyway, I'm a huge advocate, and it can save an entrepreneur, by the way, Chip. Those entrepreneurs we were talking about with Evan, this can save them $20,000, $30,000. It literally saved me over $30,000 a year.
You don't know what you don't know, as you often say. Yeah.
Yep.
David, final question this week is about one of your favorite topics, Roth accounts. I wish I had run across you 10 years ago. I'm retired and have a couple $1 million in tax-deferred IRAs. I wish I had been putting that money into Roth accounts when I was working because I'm going to get killed on taxes when I withdraw the funds. But now I'm stuck with that tax hit to come, right? Not necessarily so.
Well, you're going to have to pay some taxes, certainly, and I don't know how old you are. That's not information wasn't provided, but I will tell you, for larger RIAs, we have additional strategies where we can help you not only. So here's the worst case scenario, Chip. If you're in the same tax bracket, if you move money from the IRA, the traditional side, to the Roth, you pay the same tax that you'll pay whenever, right? So why not get it out of the way now before your account continues to grow to a bigger amount? Buy out the silent partner, the IRS, at an earlier stage if the tax rates are the same. So these people that argue, well, I don't want to pay the tax man now. Well, if your account's a couple million now and you don't touch it, and let's say this person is 60 years old and they don't have to take an RMD until they're 75 under current law, that's another 15 years of growth. Assuming this account easily doubles in that time. Now, instead of being 2 or 3 million, maybe it's 4 to 6 million. That first RMD is going to be over $250,000 of taxable income, and it won't be at the current tax rates. It will be at a higher tax because
what this questioner is looking at. You have often said, pay tax on the seed, not the harvest.
Absolutely. On top of that, when we have larger IRAs, Evan, who was just on the show here, we have additional strategies we can layer in to show you how to chip away and discount some of the taxes you would pay for these, what we call super large IRAs. So if you have an IRA larger than $3 million, you're going to want to get on the phone with Evan because you certainly don't know what you don't know on how to reduce the tax liability on those conversions.
Well, might this person be a candidate for a Roth conversion?
Absolutely. And they should come in for the report card, and one of our advisors can kind of show them the way.
Thank you for listening to the Retire Smart podcast with David Brooks. If you want to learn how to generate lifetime income, reduce your tax bill, and maintain your lifestyle in retirement, visit retiresmartpodcast.com. And make sure to subscribe to keep up with new episodes every week.